Our thesis subverts the Prado Museum extension through a series of interventions that challenge the characteristics of the existing building, weighed down by its own historic status. Liberated from the past versus future division, the museum shifts to be present.
Not only an educator, but also a tool that upholds institutional power, the museum's architecture is encoded with a hierarchy. In order to transgress this building's past burden of traditions, we misused iconic architectural characteristics to reorient an expected encounter into an unforeseen discovery.
Propose to repurpose an existing structure by inserting two found post-industrial relics into the existing type, transforming both to become something beyond their origins.
An entity with new identities. The past and present all flow together, conducting a sequence of experience into a collective urban memory.
The project was trying to emphasize everyone can kind of gather in three big platforms everyone occupies.
I wanted to make the City Hall a building that actually serves the community, so that's why there's a lot of open space. You don't even have to enter, you can just pass right through.
I propose to treat the existing fabric of the institution, which echoes the historical ruins of radically transformed monarchies, as an opportunity for iconoclastic and monumental intervention, opening up the museum to the city and the city to the museum.
The facade's way it operates could vary depending on the program inside. So the program itself is a biomedical and research facility. What that means is health and innovation.
The thesis question is about model of programmatic hybridization and the synthesis which compromise the full potential of slab typology.
I made these interstitial spaces with the thought in mind that they would be public, first to all the residents of the apartments and the people who live in the hotels, as well as the office people working. In these interstitial spaces, they're just programmed a lot to be public spaces that people can enjoy.
Really investigating both the close proximity of these objects relative to themselves on the site, on Sunset, but also realizing the larger urban arrangement in the context of the geomorphology of Los Angeles, both close up and far away.
Megablocks can be redefined and an urban space where meaning can be generated. According to the intimate relationship between the inhabitant and the surrounding territory.
On the site, there are scattered pieces, scattered fragments, but also when you zoom in a little closer to just the individual museums, you also see how each program space is starting to fragment out and you get a larger sense of it.
Thesis advocates for equivalent volume that flatten the hierarchy of the civic and cultural spaces. Three types of design volume interact and negotiate boundaries.
There are multiple volumetric centers and figure brackets that together negotiate the building plaza and the city, while the third type of volume is depicted by the figurative surface that becomes a connector of the civil and cultural spaces.
The thesis engages the ground at a significant site of investigation for contemporary issues of both land use and curatorial practices, inherently tied to the institution of the museum, its collection of artifacts, and the land on which it sits.
This is the outside of the museum, this is the inside of the museum. But now the museum continues below the ground, and we start to partially see it above ground.
And from this, we might conjecture what the city looks like from this new perspective, redrawn and rearranged without the spatial implications of redlining. New possibilities present themselves. This might invite a new or old perspective on Las Vegas,
Relearning Las Vegas is to learn a new way of seeing the city towards a new interiority.